will be okay. And I have Miss Petrell here, and she's our county-wide counselor for the county. And I wanted her to talk to everyone a little bit about when we start feeling anxious, that we need to take a deep breath and how important that is.
Hi, everybody. We have met with the teachers, and we are taking this very seriously about how to deal with some anxiety, because we anticipate it for both staff, parents, and students. So one of the things that we're going to be doing periodically is, the research shows that if you take in some deep breaths, that it can kind of calm you and reset your brain and prepare to learn better. So what we have the children do, what we have the children and the staff doing periodically is, and you can practice this with your children at home, is breathe in for 3, hold for 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then out for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what this does is it kind of calms the amygdala in the brain and helps the children to, the anxiety to decrease. So if you practice that with your kids at home, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Petrell. And I just think that's so important to talk to your children, and as parents and family members, to take a deep breath as we process all of this information, because our top priority is the safety of your children. That's our top priority. And we love your children. We can't wait to get them back in this school. And we just want it to be a safe environment for students and staff. And we want the families to feel at ease. I'm going to go ahead and share my PowerPoint that I created. It has the talking points that we would like to go over with you. And then if you have questions at the end, you can post them in the chat box. So be patient with me as I share my screen and share the PowerPoint with you today. Can everybody see my PowerPoint? Ms. Drubish is saying yes. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Weirton Elementary School back to school information. This is for hybrid students grades 1 through 4. Welcome to our virtual back to school informational meeting with the principals, myself, Ms. Miller, Mr. Van Dyke, Mrs. Drubish, Ms. Petrell, our countywide counselor, and Mrs. Debbie DeCaria, our school nurse. Thank you all for joining this meeting with us. I want you to note, please note that the information we will be sharing is fluid and may need to be adjusted or changed based on new information or requirements set by the federal government, the West Virginia governor, the West Virginia Department of Education, the Health Department, or the Hancock County School Board of Education. So we are sharing this information with you today, but please remember it is fluid and may need to be adjusted. I have attached, I will share this PowerPoint on Dojo, and on this PowerPoint is the re-entry toolkit that's posted on the West Virginia Department of Education, and the most updated guidelines that I have for you is from August 24th. And you can click on that link once I post this PowerPoint. Where do you find this information at for Weirton Elementary School? This is what I'm telling you. To find up-to-date information, you will find it on our Dojo, our school story. You can also find it on our Weirton Elementary School website. You can find it on the Hancock County Schools website, and you can find it on Weirton Elementary School's Facebook page. So those are the places you can go to find updated information. I wanted to talk to you about visitors. We do know that we have visitors coming in the building to, enroll their children. And so we have plexiglass set up at the counter. We have social distancing markers on the floor. And we also would encourage you to, if you have any conferences, to make those appointments via Teams or a phone conference, or just call one of the principals and we can help you out with that, because we are limiting visitors in the school at this time. So we do encourage any conferences you may have to have over the phone, or a Teams meeting would be appropriate at this time. And if you do have to come in for a meeting, we will have to follow all the safety guidelines as far as take your temperature, ask you a list of several COVID-19 questions. So that's why we would prefer the meetings over the phone or Teams. I also wanted to update you on the meal distribution. Today, families, we have our first meal distribution. It's from 10:30 to 12:30. It's actually going on here soon. The cooks at our school have prepared breakfast and lunches for all students. This includes all blended students, A to Z, all West Virginia virtual students. You have to pick up the meals at your home school. So if you have a child at Weir Elementary School and a child at Weir Middle School, you would have to go to both schools to pick up the meals. And when you go pick up your meal, you need to provide them with your child's WES number. Now, you may not know your child's WES number, and that's okay. If you don't know your child's WES number, just let them know your child's last name, the grade and homeroom teacher they are in, and they will look up your WES number for you. All right. And if you are a West Virginia virtual parent, just tell them that you are a West Virginia virtual parent and give them your child's last name. And then moving forward with the meal distribution dates, September 11th would be the next one. And that is for West Virginia virtual students and blended students in group L to Z. And then the next one would be Wednesday, September 16th for all students. And then after that, it's every Wednesday, unless I send you a message stating otherwise. Supplies. Well, we were so excited to be able to supply all our students with what they need to get started in school, because we realize the students will be working from home and at school. And so we didn't want you to have to buy 2 sets of supplies. So when they come to school for their 2 days of face-to-face instruction, we have provided pencil boxes, 24-count crayons, handheld pencil sharpeners, pencils, erasers, scissors, glue sticks, little tiny tissue boxes, pocket sanitizers. Grades pre-K through 2nd grade, the county purchased shields with little animals on them. There's a picture there in my PowerPoint of what they look like. We have purchased lanyards to attach to the masks, and all students will receive an iPad. We are in the process of purchasing shields for grades 3rd and 4th as well. We have disposable masks for all students. So if you don't have a mask and you're a bus rider, the bus driver will be giving you a disposable mask, and we also have them available here at the school. So please do not worry about that. We will have them available. Items that you can bring. If you would like to pick out your child's book bag, they can bring a book bag, headphones for the iPads, a lunchbox or a brown, paper bag if they're not taking advantage of our free lunch. Also, you could bring your own face covering, mask or shield, and a water bottle. But if you don't have those items, we have these items here as well. We have lots of book bags that have been donated. We have headphones. So, and we also have bottled water in the room if your child forgets the water bottle. So, these items will be supplied if you don't have those items, but you're welcome to bring those in. Some parents had questions about the lunchbox. at right now, at this time, you are allowed to bring a lunchbox. Okay, if that changes, we will let you know. And we hope that you take advantage of our free breakfast and free lunch. So, and if you have any questions about that, let us know. We will be posting. We will not send out the paper menus. We will post the menus on Dojo, so you will know what's for breakfast and what's for lunch. Miss Drubish, do you want to talk a little bit about the iPad?
Okay, this year, sorry, I had to take all my gear off. This year, Hancock County Schools is proud to announce the implementation of a one-to-one device initiative this year. What that means is every student in Hancock County Schools will be issued an iPad through the county, which is fantastic. All hybrid students will receive their iPads when they come to school. The pickup dates announced that you've seen that we've been saying that it's pickup for days for iPads. That's for the virtual students only. Those are the students who decided to go 5 days a week virtually and not attend 2 days a week face-to-face. iPads will be used in both class and on remote days. So it's very important 2 things happen, and I know we'll create this habit. One is that every night that the device comes home, we ask that you do charge the device. When the student gets the device, they will be receiving an iPad in a case and a charging cord, as well as the block that goes into the wall. I can't answer a couple questions because I know parents have had concerns about iPads, one, if it breaks. This is strictly my message. What I'm getting ready to say right now is to the hybrid parents. And obviously you would not be here if you were not. There is a 2-year warranty on the iPad, okay? However, in order for that warranty to be good, the iPad must stay inside the case that's been provided to the students. So no, they will not be able to allow to switch out cases, okay? And I can speak freely that these cases, when you see them for the students, they're fantastic. They're very similar to that of an OtterBox. You also cannot put screen protectors on the glass of the iPad. Again, in order for that 2-year warranty to, if anything was to happen to that iPad, in order for Apple to honor that, they have to be received the way they were received to you, if that makes sense. What's included in the 2-year warranty is 2 screen breaks. You have cord protection. Now that doesn't include if it gets lost though. But you do have cord protection, you do have that block protection, and also you will have 24/7 support from Apple. The other very important detail to keep in mind with these iPads, 1, please, please, please charge them nightly. And 2, the other thing about the iPad is it's also very important that every day before your child either gets on the bus or in your car to come to us, that you check that book bag and make sure that the iPad is with them. iPads will, like I said, will be used in class as well. And I think that's about it for the iPads.
Thank you, Mrs. Drubish. Can everybody hear me? Thumbs up, Mrs. Drubish, if you can hear me. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is bus or car rider tags. As you can see in the picture there, we are going to have luggage tags that we are going to attach to the book bags this year. We're going to try this out. There's 2 very important pieces of information that we need from all of you on that first day of school. How is your child getting home at the end of the day? And we will need a contact information in case of an emergency. The teachers have been calling all of their students in the class. So parents, if you haven't received a phone call yet, please call the school and let us know, because we've had a few students that we haven't been able to reach anyone at the house. So if you haven't received a phone call, maybe we have a wrong phone number, maybe you haven't updated WES, please let us know. But the hybrid families will be picking up their informational packets today after 4 p.m. And you don't have to rush here and be here at 4 p.m. because we are going to leave them outside the entire weekend. And inside the packets will be all the forms you have to fill out, your emergency card and medical information. And so that way you can fill it out over the weekend and bring it back that first day of school. Also inside your informational packets will be these luggage tags. If you told the teacher on the phone that your child is a car rider, you will have a red tag. If you told the teacher that your child will be riding the bus, you will have a yellow tag. Please make sure that you attach that to your child's book bag and talk to your child about how they are getting home. The transportation office from the board office wanted me to remind parents that we will not be accepting, switches from different buses. It's just going to make dismissal very difficult at the end of the day. And we're trying to, when we're picking up students, we want to stay with the bus stops, and that's how they're going to be, organizing the seats on the bus as well. So we're not going to be able to switch buses, just because maybe your child wants to go to spend the night at a friend's house and needs to ride the bus. We have to be very cautious of this, to be consistent on how your child, is getting home. Now, we understand that maybe 3 days out of the week, maybe you're going to daycare and then 2 days will be going home. So we understand situations like that, but we just can't be changing buses daily for different reasons. But if it's something for childcare, we completely understand. And if you have any questions, you can email me that and I can try to answer that. Because remember, parents, our job is to keep your child safe and your job is to help us. So we are just doing this for the safety of your children. So just to clarify, inside your packets, it's so important that you get that contact information to us on the first day of school and that your child knows how they are getting home and you have attached the proper tag to your child's book bag. If you are a car rider, we are doing something different this year. We are doing a dismissal called I Dismiss. Now I know Mr. Van Dyke is on the road right now. He's actually having to go somewhere, but he's on this call. Mr. Van Dyke, do you want me to talk about I Dismiss or would you like to make a comment?
Yeah, so the I Dismiss is an app that all of the teachers are going to use. Each one of you should have, for car riders, you should have received a number. That number is going to be used solely to identify your child and let them know that it is time for dismissal. So the teachers are going to have on their app, they'll have that number. We'll say Miss Miller is going to have number 1 on the app for the teacher. It'll pull up number 1. She's ready to dismiss. They'll send them on her way. And then that'll also help us with, as parents have the number in their car, it'll help us to identify who's supposed to pick them up. It also provides like a security measure. So that way only you should have the number for your student. Nobody else will be able to pick them up unless they have that number. So it's very important that you have that number, or if somebody's picking them up, that they can verbalize that to us, or if they have that card cut out with the number on it, that'll be very helpful. So that's pretty much it. I don't know if there was anything else that you want to add, Miss Miller. I'm sorry, I'm trying to drive here.
Thank you, Mr. Van Dyke. I thought that was explained very well. And if any of you have questions, I check my emails all weekend. Please feel free to email me. It's on our website. You can email any one of the principals to ask questions about bus or car rider information. We did post the bus schedules on our website. We posted it on Dojo as well. If you still have a question about what bus number your child is going to ride, please call the office today. But we did post all of that information in those two places. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about was the re-entry stagger start. I posted this calendar for you. I thought this is a nice calendar to put on your refrigerator because I have to admit, it's a little confusing, the stagger start, but this calendar explains it. I know I have it posted near my desk as well. So I'll just kind of go over it, but I would definitely have this calendar out, and it is posted on Dojo and our website. September 8th is our first day of school, and that's 2nd and 4th grades, Group 1, A through K. September 9th is 1st and 3rd. That's Group 1, A through K. September 10th is 2nd and 4th, Group 2, L to Z. September 11th is 1st and 3rd, Group 2, L to Z. And then September 14th starts kindergarten, and it begins with the rotation. Group 1, A through K will come on Monday, Tuesday. And then pre-K begins September 21st. So that is the stagger start. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to email one of the principals. But I think if you would pull this calendar up, it explains it nicely. The next thing I wanted to talk to you is about before arrival. It's very important that the family assess their own child at home. Okay, so these are the family responsibilities. Any student showing symptoms of COVID-19 or who may have been exposed to COVID-19 should not be at school. Watch for the following symptoms before sending your child to school: fever of 100 degrees, chills, shortness of breath or difficulty breathing, new cough, new loss of taste or smell. So be watching for those symptoms. And if you notice any of those symptoms, the reentry toolkit says that students should not be at school if they have the COVID-19 symptoms. They should not be at school. And also make sure that you've attached this car rider or bus rider tag to your book bag so we can definitely see that contact information right away if soon as your child enters the school and we see those symptoms. So we do ask the families to please monitor their child at home and look for these symptoms before sending them to school. Because remember, it's our job to keep your child safe, and it's your job to help us. As you arrive, this is a little bit about arrival. It's the same as last year, with just maybe a few minor adjustments. At 7:50, the bus riders will enter through the front of the building. The car riders will enter through the preschool entrance. If you can see my screen, we have a map of drop-off and pickup procedures. I will also post this on our website and Class Dojo. For car riders, well, back to bus riders, all students must wear a mask on the bus. If you don't have a mask, the bus drivers will provide you with your child with a mask. But car riders, here are some reminders. Maintain a safe speed, stay alert, remain in your vehicle at all times. Staff members will assist students into the building. Wait for a staff member to dismiss you after your child has gotten out of the car. Maintain 2 lanes of traffic in the car rider line. Be patient and courteous with the staff and other drivers. If the first lot is full, proceed to the overflow area. And we understand it's the first day back at school, and if we have any students that possibly are crying and are a little nervous getting out of the car and going into school, we're going to ask you to pull over in one of the parking spots and somebody will come out to assist you. So we understand that that may happen. So those are some procedures for arrival for car riders and bus riders. The next thing I wanted to talk to you about is entering the building. All students will wear a mask on the bus and entering the school. And when we talk about face coverings, that could be a mask or a shield. Students entering from the bus rider entrance or car rider entrance will walk through a thermal temperature scanner. This is a non-contact self-service temperature scanner that will take your child's temperature. 30 students can pass through the scanner at one time, and it will scan all the temperatures. A nurse will be stationed at each entrance. And we are so fortunate to have Mrs. Zakaria back with us. Some of you, I'm sure, remember Mrs. Zakaria, and she is an expert at her field, and we are very, very lucky to have her back. So she's here with me as well, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about what she's going to look like when your child goes through that temperature scanner, because she's going to be there.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's good to have you kids back. We really missed them. I just want you to make your children aware, most of us. But I am going to be, and the other nurse at the car rider door will be in full garb. And what I mean by that, we will be in head coverings, masks, shields, gloves. We will also be in isolation gowns. We're going to be completely covered. You will only see the whites of our eyes. Please tell your children not to be afraid, because there's nothing that it's the same person underneath all that garb. If your child does come through the scanner and does have a fever or a temp of 100, they will be taken immediately into what we call our isolation area, where it will be manned by another nurse, and we will call you. Your child absolutely will be dismissed from school. Ms. Miller has stressed already the importance of a contact number. Please make sure we can reach you or somebody if you're at work. Your child cannot stay at school. We're going by the guidelines from the CDC, the Department of Ed, our health department, and our policy from our county also. Your children, there are a group of symptoms that we have to send your children home for. And I mean, when I looked at this list, it's usually what I see the kids every day for. Mm-hmm. But now is a little bit different because of the COVID. They will be coming home. And one of, like I stressed, it was 100 that they will be coming home. Shortness of breath, chills, if they're having trouble breathing, if it's a new cough, if they lose their taste and smell, if they have a severe headache, their extreme fatigue, muscle, nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, either keep them home or they're going to come to school and we're going to send them home. We cannot keep them by law. We will not be able to keep your children at school. And like Ms. Miller said, it's only for the safety, not only of our kids, but the staff too. Because we don't want our staff, we lose our staff, right. We're going to have too much, we won't be able to replace it as much. Right. So we're always going to be here, and that our number one priority is your kids' safety, your children's safety, and the safety of our staff. You know what? We're coming into a building. The environment has changed. The atmosphere has changed, but the compassion, the caring, the patience, and the love of your kids, that doesn't change. These teachers are they're waiting to see your children. They haven't seen them for 6 months, and they're really, really excited, and they have so many great things that are planned for them. You should just hear the atmosphere in the building and everybody just talking and being so excited to see the kids. So I think it's going to be a great year.
I do. Like I said, we're so fortunate that Mrs. DeCary is back with us. And we also have Amy Zaneski, who is an LPN, and she will be stationed at the preschool entrance. Mrs. DeCary will be stationed at the main entrance where the bus riders come in. And Mrs. Zaneski will be stationed at the preschool entrance. But as Mrs. DeCary said, they will be in a mask, a shield, a gown, gloves, and just prepare your child for that, because we do not want to scare them, but we have to keep everybody safe. And just to sum up what Mrs. DeCary said, our job is to keep your child safe. Your job is to help us, and we appreciate your patience from all of you. So they will walk through the scanner, and every student and staff in our building will go through our thermal temperature scanners. Breakfast. Students that wish to take advantage of our free breakfast will eat the grab-and-go breakfast in the classrooms upon arriving to school. Our cooks and our ECATs will be delivering breakfast. For that first week of school, we ordered breakfast for everyone. We know some students may be nervous in the morning and they may not be able to eat before coming to school. So we have ordered enough breakfast for all students that first week of school. And then after that first week of school, if you would dojo your teachers at the beginning of the week, or probably maybe best on Friday, if your child will be eating breakfast for that full week. So we can have the breakfast packed and prepared for all our students, because it will be a process, because we will have to deliver those to the classrooms. So, but that first week of school, we are providing a breakfast. Your child doesn't have to eat the breakfast, but it will be there if they want it. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the related arts. We know the children love going to physical education, music, and art. And for the safety of our students, we are going to have the related arts teachers come to the classroom to teach music, art, and PE. The physical education teachers, Mrs. Naughton, Mr. Jimboy, and Mr. Workman, they are so excited to get back. They will be teaching PE in the home rooms, or they're going to utilize our 3 physical education zones outside, depending on the weather. We had a donator donate picnic tables. We had 15 picnic tables delivered by the Weirton Heights Rotary, and the PE department, they've been placing these picnic tables throughout the school on the recess zones and the PE zones. So that will be nice to have those outside, because we would like for the children to go outside as much as possible, weather permitting. All students will sanitize hands before and after PE. Equipment will be sanitized before and after the PE activity. We will have social distancing and limited equipment. For art, Ms. Grieco will travel to homerooms. Students will use their own supplies in their desks. We will not be sharing art supplies. For music, Miss Lily is the substitute for Miss Terani. She will travel to the homerooms as well. Students will use their own supplies in their desks. No shared supplies and no instruments. We will follow the music, PE, and art schedule for the next 4 weeks. Ms. Petrovich, our superintendent, will be assessing the situation after 4 weeks. If we are continuing with this hybrid schedule, we may rotate the related arts classes, so everybody will be able to have music, art, and PE. On Wednesdays, the music and art PE teachers will be having live classes. So if your child was supposed to have art on Wednesday, they can still enjoy art class or music or PE via Teams. And more details to come about that. The next thing I want to talk to you about, restrooms and water fountains. Restrooms, students will wear masks throughout the building, as we had stated. Restroom breaks will be scheduled to limit traffic in the hallways, limit the number of students in the restroom at one time, We will follow the capacity signs in all areas. If a child has to use the restroom other than a scheduled restroom break, there'll be a sign out sheet, and the teachers will monitor the number of students in the restrooms. We will follow all the above guidelines. Water fountains. We had to shut our water fountains off for safety. Students will be encouraged to bring a water bottle to school. However, bottled water is provided in all classrooms if a child doesn't bring a water bottle to school. Face-to-face instruction. We're on the hybrid schedule as of now. Group A through K, is face-to-face instruction on Monday and Tuesday. Group B, L to Z, face-to-face instruction on Thursday and Friday. Students will be socially distanced in the classroom. We will have more information that we will send out to you regarding the face-to-face instruction. We have talked to our teachers that we are going to push the English language arts and math during that face-to-face instruction. And so more information as we get started will be sent to you via Dojo. Also, one other thing I wanted to talk to you about, the face-to-face instruction during the days your child is at school, is along with the English language arts and the math, another area that we are going to stress is the social and emotional well-being of your child. That all teachers will have a time set aside every morning from 8:20 to 9 to check in with each individual student. We want to make sure that they feel safe. We want to address any worries that they have. And so we have set a block of time just for that. The social and emotional well-being of your child is as important, if not more important, than our ELA and math. So during those face-to-face instruction, it will be social and emotional time, English language arts, and math. This is what a tentative schedule looks like. The weeks of September 14th through the 18th, the teachers will focus on health and safety protocol review. We will be doing some assessments to see where each child is at in English, language arts, and math. We will be exploring our iPads, teaching the students how to use them. We're going to be doing lots of getting to know you activities. All instruction will be review-based. For the remote lessons, they will also be review that first week, the first full week, the September 14th and 18th. Please, we're going to present a ratio of 80% paper pencil activities and 20% digital. We want to get feedback from the staff, feedback from the students, and feedback from the parents. You know, how's the remote days working? How can we make them better? So we're going to start out slow with more paper pencil activities, 80%, 20% digital. So let me just clarify that first week when they come back on September 8th, there will not be any remote activities that week because not all children have received their iPad at that week. So it'll be then the week of the September 14th is when we'll be focusing on exploring the iPads in review. And then the week of September 21st, we will continue to focus on health and safety protocol, looking at the assessments, seeing where your child is at, continue with iPad exploration, using review lessons and seeing how well your child does accessing those lessons on the iPad, more getting to know you activities. And then that week, we will begin Journeys, our reading program, on September 24th. But we want to get your child back into school, assess how they're feeling socially and emotionally, get to know them, do review lessons, and it won't be until the week of September 21st, 25th that we will be doing our first Journeys lesson week 1. And the teachers will be sharing more information with you regarding this.
Ms. Miller, can I make a comment, please?
Yes, you can, Mrs. Drubish.
I just want everybody here to and we all know this, the last day our students were in our building was March 13th of the last school year. This is going to be an interesting start of the year because they've been out of school for quite some time. Our main focus, and I am a curriculum person, and I know curriculum is important to a lot of families. I want to assure you that the education will be top notch. I'm not disparaging that at all. But when Ms. Miller says the social-emotional health of the children are just as, if not more important than the reading curriculum and the math curriculum, she is 100% correct. When we get these students back in our building, our main goal is to assess where they are, not only academically, but also emotionally. And it's going to be an interesting undertaking. And that's why we encourage you always to please be in constant contact with either, Miss Miller, myself, or Mr. Van Dyke, and especially the classroom teacher to share anything that we need to know pertaining to your child that would affect his or her day at school. So I just want to implement again and tell you that the education will be top notch. It will begin that week of the September 21st. However, the first couple weeks, we will be reviewing lessons. I have instructed our teachers to speak to the grade level prior to, if your child was in second grade, for instance, to speak to the first grade teachers and see where they left off in March. And also with the remote lessons from last year. Remote from last year will look completely different from remote this year for a couple reasons. One, we have the iPads now. All students do have access to iPad, to technology. But I do think, and I'm sure we would all be in agreement, that the care of the children the first couple weeks is imperative, okay? And we're up for the task. And like I said, please don't hesitate to contact any administrator or teacher pertaining to any information that would be vital to your child's education, okay? And even if it's the littlest of things, please, please, please don't hesitate to contact us because those little things can create big things. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Drubish. And as we were talking about social and emotional well-being, we have Miss Clark, our counselor at Weirton Elementary School. We have Miss Petrell, the Hancock County counselor that can also come to our school. And we also have a TIES program for preschool, kindergarten, and first grade, but we'll have a counselor here as well. So please contact me if you have any questions about that. And we are so fortunate to have the health center attached to our building. And we also have a counselor, Daisy, over at the health center. So please, parents, take advantage of our health center. They are there for you as well. The next slide here is Wednesday at a glance. What is Wednesday going to look like? Ms. Drubish, do you just want to go over these bullet points here for Wednesday?
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Ms. Miller. Wednesday at a glance will look the same for everyone because that is the day all students, whether you're group A to K or L to Z, will be remote. All students in Weirton Elementary School, all hybrid students will be remote on Wednesdays. For the assignments, students will be asked to complete daily ELA, which means English Language Arts. What pertains in English Language Arts, for those of you who may be unaware, is reading and English and writing. The assignments will be reasonable. I don't want you to think that they're going to be working all day Wednesday. We are taking and being cognizant of their age and what is appropriate. If you have any questions pertaining to that throughout the year, please, again, don't hesitate to contact one of us. All assignments will reflect practices being learned in the classroom. We will be giving 2 opportunities for students to ask questions that day live via Teams. So what your child will do is log in live via Teams during the ELA office hours, which where students will have the opportunity to log in and ask their teacher any questions pertaining to the ELA lesson. This window will be open live via Teams for 45 minutes. Times will be announced at a later time. There will be a second opportunity for the math, okay, and those will be called math office hours. Again, students will have the opportunity to log on to ask their teacher questions pertaining to the math lesson of the day or any question pertaining to math. Students can use math office hours to meet live via Teams. One thing I did fail to put in the PowerPoint, and I would like to publicly apologize for that, is every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, students will have a live meeting with their classroom teacher. It's going to be a social emotional check-in followed by a live foundations lesson or word power lesson for 4th grade. And the details on that will come later as well. Foundations will be assigned to grades 1 through 3. And the related arts live lessons will be available to the students as Ms. Miller discussed. Details and times will be announced at a later time. You will receive a Wednesday schedule, like I said, that pertains to these designated times, so you know when to log in. That's all I got.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Drubish. And as she said, we'll be getting more details to you regarding the Wednesdays. So this is the remote learning days. We covered this, that one group of students will be coming on Mondays and Tuesdays, and the other group will be coming to school on Thursdays and Fridays. I want to talk to you about dismissal. The car rider families can start lining up at the preschool entrance at 2:45. We ask that the car rider families have a tag in the front window of their vehicle that includes their last name and their I dismiss number. Your child's teacher will be providing you with the tag, and on the tag will be your child's last name and I dismiss number. It's going to be inside your informational packet that you pick up this weekend. If for some reason you don't get your informational packet for right now, go ahead and just put a sign in your front window with your child's last name and call the office if you didn't get your I dismiss number, because that's going to help us identify the cars as they pull up, and there'll be somebody outside checking the cars in, and it's a computer program, and we will be sending it out electronically when you have arrived so they know to dismiss your student from the homeroom. We used to have bus lines in the hallways. Due to the COVID guidelines, we are going to keep the students in their homerooms, and they will be dismissed by their homerooms and then socially distanced on their way out to either the bus or the car rider entrance. And as I cannot stress this enough, please make sure your bus or car rider tag is attached to your child's book bag every day. Bus students will not be dismissed until 3. And due to the social distancing in the hallways, while we're boarding the bus arrivals may be a little later. I just wanted you to be aware of that, but just follow the schedule that the Hancock County Schools posted, which we posted on Dojo and our Weirton Elementary website. It has the pickup times and the drop-off times on there. Remember, I know there's no kindergarten parents on this call right now, but the kindergarten parents, there has to be a guardian at the bus stop or they will not let a kindergarten child off the bus. So please make sure if you know a kindergarten parent that they know that, and I'm sure we will talk to them at their virtual meeting as well. But we like the parents at the bus stop. We definitely want to know, we want you to explain to your child each morning, how are they getting home so they understand. And if you have any questions about dismissal, please feel free to email us. Mr. Van Dyke or Mrs. Drubish, was there anything that I missed about dismissal?
I just put in the chat if people can't see the chat. I think it's really important to remember one thing. As we all are aware, this is a unique situation. This is a school year like no other. Please be a little patient with us when it comes to times. We could tell you what time that bus is supposed to arrive, but until all students are back in the building, we won't know the flow. We're hoping for the best, obviously, and we're hoping to meet those times to the best of our ability. But the one thing, especially about the bus, that the parents need to keep in mind is that don't forget the high school and the middle school gets dismissed first. So their bus flow, or our bus flow, is dependent on their bus flow. Okay, so just bear with us at the beginning of the year. I have no doubts that Hancock County will get this in order. There might be slight delays at first. Once we get in a groove, just like anything, if I wanted to go exercise right now, I can't expect myself to exercise to run 5 miles. I couldn't even run 5 minutes right now. But that's beside the point. We have to get in a routine, and I do know that we will get those times as close to possible. Okay. I also had someone ask in the chat pertaining about that they have kids with different last names. That's something that you needed to contact us about. If you needed them on a particular day, you needed to talk to an administrator about that. Please do so if you have not. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Drubish. Oh, go ahead,
Ms.
Mr.
Miller.
Van Dyke. Yes.
There are 2 things. If for the I dismiss numbers, every child in our school is going to have a different I dismiss number. So I did want to let parents know that if you have, say you have 3 kids and they have 3 different numbers, you don't need 3 different cards. That would be really confusing as a parent. You could go ahead and you could put all 3 numbers on one card, and you can put that in your card window. Okay. The other thing is, what if you don't have the number? You forget it. Don't worry about it. All we're going to ask you to do is we're going to have you just pull off to the side. We're going to have an administrator come out, check with you, verify that you are the parent or the guardian, and you're able to pick up that student. So it might take you a little bit more time, but don't worry about it. We'll get you taken care of. But, it's just, another measure to keep our kids safe. So, I would probably put the numbers for each one of my kids into my cell phone. I'd put it in the notes section or something, or, try to keep it on, somewhere where I had it all the time, just in case. Okay.
And also, just real quick to add one other thing, it's not about dismissal. Erica Pollen asked an excellent question in the chat box, and I do realize some parents do not have chat capability if they dialed in, but I would be happy to share that with you. The question is this: due to parents also having to work during these times, will 9 a.m. be the only mandatory time they will have to be live? Will they then be able to work at their own pace for the rest of the lessons for those days unless they need to ask questions during the meets? Excellent question, Erica. Thank you for sharing that with us. The answer to that is there is no mandatory face-to-face as far as the live meeting at 9 a.m. We highly encourage students to log in if they can. That's a great time for us to, keep that close contact with them. And the beauty of the 9 a.m. meeting is for the kids to get used to the other side of the alphabet. So keep in mind, when they're doing these face-to-face days, if my child is, obviously Drubish is a D, my children are going to attend school on Monday and Tuesday, they're not seeing those students with the last name of L to Z. That Wednesday opportunity is an excellent chance for your child to get to know the other students in their classroom. So we highly encourage it. However, we are very cognizant of every parent's work schedule. And we honestly, we applaud everybody. And, parents, you're doing an amazing job. This is also going to be a trying time for you, balancing work and your child's academics. And we realize and recognize that. So therefore, no, we're not making it mandatory. However, we strongly suggest it. However, any assignments given on Wednesday can be self-paced, yes, to adhere to your work schedule, and we just ask that those assignments be completed. So thank you very much, Erica, for your question. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Mrs. Drubish. We have also been in touch with the Christian Center, the Little Bear Daycare, the Children's Academy. You know, we have told these agencies that we are having remote lessons. We would like for them to allow your child, if any of your children attend these daycares, that if they could have their tablet there to participate in these meetings while they're at daycare. So we have called the Christian Center, the Weirton Heights Daycare, Little Bear Daycare, the Children's Academy. So I don't know if any of your children attend there on the remote days or after school, but we would definitely collaborate with them and help out in any way we can, you know, to be able to communicate with those agencies if that applies to you. So as I said, our job is to keep your child safe, and your job is to help us. These are the steps that we are doing to minimize exposure, to keep our students safe, their families safe, and our staff safe. I'm going to go ahead through these bullet points. Face coverings, social distancing, markings on the floor, signage in the hallways to remind students and staff of safety precautions. 2 temperature thermal scanners installed, and a quarantine room set up for students showing symptoms while waiting to be picked up. We have put all of these things in place for you. All students pre-K through 4 will be required to wear face coverings. We had a conversation today, the staff and the administration, regarding face coverings. We get so much information. The information changes daily. We are still checking on gaiters. Those are the things that kind of go around your neck and pull up. I am not sure if those are permitted yet. I will definitely put something out on Dojo. As of now, I know the shields and the masks, you know, the masks that you wear are permitted. The gaiters, I still have to find out about that item. But they are required for pre-K through 4 in all common areas, the bus, the hallways. They can take them off when they're in the lunchroom eating though, but going to lunch, they will have to have them on. The restroom, the lobby area. Face coverings will be provided by the school. If you do not have a face covering for your child, please don't worry about that. We will provide that for you. We have lots and lots of disposable masks that are youth size. We have the character animal shields for pre-K through 2nd. We're working on ordering the shields for 3rd and 4th graders as well. We got a directive as of September 3rd that face coverings are required to be worn by all students and employees at all times unless waived by a physician. We will do our best to keep students with a core group throughout the school day and limit contact with other students. We will increase time for outdoor recess and/or instructional class time as playground, outdoor space, and weather allows. The lunchroom setup is for social distancing and will only include 1 grade level at a time. So our cafeteria, we actually measured where each child will sit, and it's 6 feet apart. We will be using the cafeteria and another classroom, and we will only be going down 1 grade level at a time, and each class will have a designated area. We won't mix the classes. The county has purchased wall hand sanitizers that are mounted in every classroom. We will have frequent and deep cleaning schedules in place. The board office has, the maintenance department has checked our ventilation system. We will have frequent cleaning of the filters. The manufacturer said that everything is working well with our ventilation system. We will continue to monitor that. We will provide, as I said earlier, related arts instruction in the classroom to minimize students in the hallways. And just please remember, families, due to the fluid nature of COVID-19, these requirements and recommendations on all protocols are subject to change. I promise you, I will be transparent with the families. I will let you know when I hear changes. I will post it on Class Dojo or our Weirton Elementary School Facebook. If you have any questions, I prefer you to call me personally instead of possibly asking the question out there on Facebook. Please, the principals, Ms. Drubish, Mr. Van Dyke, and myself, we care about all our families. Please, you do not bother us. If you have a question, you email us or you call us and we will try to find you the answer. And I keep repeating this statement, but I'm going to repeat it again. Our job is to keep your child safe and your job is to help us. We have to work together. We all have to work together. We want this to be a positive experience for your child. We miss our students. We want to get them back in here and we want to keep them back in school. Our teachers and staff have been working so hard. Our custodians have been outside mowing areas of the lands that we own so we can have extra PE zones, extra playground zones. They've been working so hard to get the grounds ready for your children to come back to school. And the teachers have been working so hard and everybody in our building. So we just want you to remember, we're doing all of this to keep your child safe. Other information that I have to share, and then I think we can wrap everything up, is that we strongly encourage, as I said, that parent-teacher conferences be via Microsoft Teams or a phone conference. IEP meetings will be held in the conference room if a parent requests, and we have plexiglass shield that will be provided. Visitors in the building no longer than 15 minutes. For longer than 15 minutes, we'll need a temperature check. So if we have to have an IEP meeting in the building, you will need to have a temperature check. Our interventionists will be pushing in as much as possible. That could be OT, PT, speech, and title, along with special education. So that's just some other information I wanted to share with you. Well, I know I shared a lot of information with everybody. I have about 5 minutes before I have another meeting. And I don't know if there were any questions as I was going through that presentation, but I want to let you know, we will have this PowerPoint for you, hopefully by tonight on the dojo. We will also have a virtual tour video that actually we're filming in 5 minutes. So your child can see what the building looks like. In the video, you'll see that we have yellow arrows so they can follow, which will help them social distance when they get in the building. And we're going to show them what the cafeteria looks like in the video. We're going to do our very best to give you a virtual picture for your child to see what the school day is going to look like. We also had Miss Sainer, one of our teachers, come up with a social story with pictures that we will also post along with the virtual tour video. And we would like for the families to start watching the video with their children and start watching or reading the social story to them as well. And just remind them that if they get nervous or worried, to come see Miss Miller or Mrs. Drubish or Mr. Van Dyke or one of our counselors, Miss Clark, Miss Petrell. We are here for them, and we want it to be a very positive start to the new school year. So, Ms. Drubish, were there any questions I could quickly try to answer?
I think I have another excellent question by Kayla. Our parents are just helping us out so much here. We can't thank them enough. Kayla asks, will there be a virtual tour / meeting for the kindergarten families?
Absolutely. Our kindergarten teachers are so excited to meet their new students. And so they're planning as we're speaking. And kindergarten parents, don't get worried if you haven't got a phone call yet, because the teachers just got their rosters, because things have been changing, and so it's taken us a little while to get those kindergarten rosters out, but they are planning something very special for those kindergarten students. And yes, the principals will also do another virtual meeting for those parents as well.
One more quick, wonderful question by an unknown user says, in the PowerPoint, it said you need to use that Microsoft email. Will that be on the iPad? Because I don't own the 365 software. When I Googled it, you had to buy it. Not sure if there's a free version. The answer to that is yes. If you are a Hancock County school student, and this is something that people may not be aware of, you do have an email address issued to every student with the password. We'll be providing that email address and the password to your child on an index card. That's already been taken care of. Once you have that in your possession, that entitles you to a Microsoft 365 Office product for you to download. And I'm not going to give you an exact number because I can't remember myself right now, but you can download that onto multiple devices. And I don't want to say 5, but I'm going to go with 3. But don't quote me on that. I will find that out as well and let you guys all know that. But it will already be downloaded. All the apps that your child needs for remote learning will be on the iPad already. That includes all Microsoft products that they're going to need to use. Okay. Mr. Liberto asks, also Microsoft email is accessible online if you want to access it from another computer. Correct. He's right. Also, Microsoft email is accessible online if you want to access it from another computer, tablet, or phone without the need to install the software. 100% correct, through the internet. Yes, sir. Thank you. Very good.
Thank you, Mrs. Drubish. I did get a message from Mr. Van Dyke. He did look into the gators, and that at this time the gators are not allowed. I guess there is a statement in the Hancock County Reentry Plan that no gators. So it's the shields that go below the chin and the masks that are approved at this time. Was there any questions, other questions, Mrs. Drubish? And parents and our families, we will be having another virtual meeting. I think we'll do more of these more often. I think this was fabulous. I appreciate all of you taking the time to join us. I'm sorry it was so lengthy, but we really wanted to get all this information out to you. Be looking for this PowerPoint on Dojo, a virtual tour video. Wish us luck. We're going to be doing that real soon in the next minute here, and also the social stories that Ms. Sainer made. We will have those posted on Dojo so you can go over those with your children this weekend. We want to wish all of our families well. We are looking forward to this school year. Please, if you have suggestions for us, please feel free to email any of the administrators. We'd love to hear from our parents, and we will also be having a local school improvement council where we will need 3 parents on that council. So we'll be sending something out probably through the PTA if you would like to be a member on that team. We only need 3 and that will be voted on, but we'll be sending you more information regarding that. But please, we would like suggestions, questions, input at any time. Feel free to email us. So we are wishing our families well, and we are looking forward to seeing everybody next week. Thank you, guys. Have a great, great weekend.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Look forward to seeing everybody soon.